Let's talk about a couple of Stream on SharePoint features that you need to know about. They will help you quickly manage your videos and make them more engaging. The first feature is the integrated trim function. You no longer need to send the video to Clipchamp or another software for a simple cleanup on the video. To get started, I've navigated to Stream on SharePoint and I'll select the first video on my list. Now, when you select your video, it's going to open up in a different tab. And I'd like to draw your attention to the right-hand side of the screen where you will see the trim function at the top of the navigation menu. When you click on that, a pane will open up from the right-hand side of the screen, and it's important to know that when you're trimming directly in Stream, you are not cutting out part of the video like you would in a traditional editing software. You are just hiding part of it from the viewers. Notice that you have two choices. You can trim the start and the end, or you can cut from the middle. Let's look at the trim option first. If you know the time marker you want to use, simply type the values in the boxes. But most of us will need to look through the video first to get the exact trim location. Notice that there are two arrows, one on each side of the timeline. To begin the trim from the beginning of the video, grab the arrow from the left and scrub through the video until you find the place where you want to insert your trim. Then you will grab the arrow from the right-hand side of the screen and repeat the process so that you can decide where the video should end. When you've done this, notice that the trim start and end in the pane have updated their time markers. When you're done, click the check mark to finalize your changes. A floating dialog box will appear that lets you know that the trimmed or hidden segments will still be viewable by people who have edit access. All you need to do is click Confirm to dismiss this box. The next cool thing is that you can cut from the middle. When you click this, you will see two handles again to choose the exact spot to remove. So in this example, I'm updating an older video that references something in Stream Classic that is no longer applicable. To avoid confusion for new viewers, let's just take that part out. Then I'm going to go back to the right-hand side of the screen and click the check mark for Done. You're going to get the same floating dialog box that we saw earlier. This time I'm going to say, don't show this again, and then click on Confirm. I would like you to notice that on the timeline you see these dashed lines that show you where the cuts had happened. You're only seeing this because as a person with editing permissions, you can see the original and the edits. If you go to the upper right-hand corner and click the drop-down next to editing, you can switch it to viewing mode to get an idea of what your end users will see when the video plays. I've jumped back to editing mode so that we can look at the interactivity feature to make our videos more engaging. On the right-hand side in the navigation menu, click the second button for interactivity, and then a pane will open on the right and you have this Add New drop-down. From here, you have two choices. You can add a form or you can add a call-out. First, let's select Add a Form. This is where you can specify a time in which to insert a Microsoft form on the timeline of your video. After you put in the link, click the check mark to save your changes, and then what's going to happen is as soon as the playhead reaches that part of the video, the viewer will see the form pop up. From there, they can answer the questions and submit the form, and then continue with the video. The second option is Callout. When you select this from the Add New dropdown, Stream will insert a text box. You will add your message to the box and position it where you want it on the screen. In this example, I added a callout in my editing software, but let's pretend you don't have access to software. The callout box is a reasonable alternative. By default, the color of the callout box is going to be yellow, but you can customize this a little bit in the interactivity pane by clicking the little drop-down next to the circle under the word Style. And here you will see that there are a few colors that you can choose from. You also have the option to change how long the box will appear on the screen. By default, it is appearing for 10 seconds, but I can update this a little bit if I feel like I need more or less time. When you're done, click the check mark in order to save your changes. I would like to draw your attention back to the timeline beneath the video. You will see that there are icons indicating where a form or a callout has been placed within the video. If we go back up to the right-hand side and click the drop-down next to Editing and switch it to Viewing, you will also see that the people watching your video can see the call-out button indicator. Now, I think this is particularly useful so that people can jump to the parts of the video where they might need to gather some information. If a person clicks on the call-out indicator, the message that is tied to it will pop up on the screen. So in this case, I could take my notes and then click the X button to continue watching the video. So now you know a couple of important Stream on SharePoint features. If you would like to learn more about this tool, please check out the video that's on the screen now.